this video, I'm gonna be walking you through my secret selling system. Let me just tell you that you can use this for any medium. It can be direct mail, it can be for Facebook ads, it can be for Google AdWords, any single medium that exists, this applies to. But for this video, I'm gonna be really showing you how this pertains to building a killer landing page for a consultant and how you can literally just plug in this system to a landing page format and be getting leads and be getting clients. Now, the first thing you really want to do is look at step one, which is to call out your audience. As obvious as this sounds, I don't see anybody doing it. Where at the top of your landing page, you just have all in caps, attention business owners, or attention whoever that person that you're addressing, attention financial planners, or attention New Yorkers who want to lose weight. And really, the power of that is you're kind of getting people in a sea of people to raise their hands and say, that's for me. Do you know what I mean? It's very powerful when you're calling out who this is for at the start of your sales message. It makes everything that follows feel a lot more customized specifically to that audience who you were talking to. Step two is to demand their attention with an attention-grabbing headline. It's basically this headline needs to grab a busy reader by the throat and drag them into your sales copy. So you want to lead with a big promise of the end benefit that they're looking to receive. Finally, a way to lose weight without spending hours of cardio every day. Then you want to have a sub-headline that goes on to simply back up that big bold promise you've made in the headline and get them to actually read it. The headline, David Ogilvy was famous by the time you've written your headline, you've already spent 90 cents of your advertising dollar budget. Your headlines will be read 5 times more than any other copy on your page. It's really important you don't think I can cover all those points later in the copy. No, the headlines is your opportunity to actually do that. You really need to grab these busy people by the throat and stop them and demand their attention with this headline that's going to stop people in their tracks. After you've written your big attention-grabbing headline and then written your sub-headline that further positions and reaffirms that big promise that you're making, now it's time to dial up the intrigue and suck people into your sales message. What you must know is that on a landing page, every single step along the way is designed to get the person to read the next step. So you can't sell somebody on what you want them to do unless you read your sales message. Basically, what you do when you're writing your headline, you're just going to have a few different variations. But what I want you to do is to take all those variations. You should be writing at least 10 to 20 different variations of your headline. And in this, think. What you want to do is create irresistible bullet copy. Bullet copy, just bullet points that, dial up the intrigue about what they're going to be learning throughout this, or the problems that they're going to be solving throughout this. A great way to do that is to take the variations of your headline and customize them and tweak them to have a lot of intrigue in it, where you can basically have different headlines that go throughout the page for your bullet points that really stuck people into the sales message. Things that are great, like that little known secrets to achieve X that you don't know. You must kind of use wordings and get people engaged in this bullet. And the whole idea about it is creating an irresistible intrigue and really getting them fascinated to learn more about what this landing page is going to be covering. Step 4 is to identify the problem. After the headline and the subheadline, this is the most important copy on the page. What this does is it kind of illustrates to the reader and to your prospect that you understand the problems that they're experiencing. Something really powerful happens when you can describe to your prospect better than they can themselves the problem that they're experiencing. You really need to agitate those problems by going in and really identifying it and showing that all of the things that are wrong with how they're currently doing things, or all the problems that they're experiencing them, and putting salt into the wound and kicking the bruised knee in terms of, letting them know that they need to move on. Because the reality of this is people sometimes say, I don't want my copy to be negative. I just wanted to be positive. I have been proven that people are much more motivated to move away from pain than they are to move towards pleasure. This does two things. One, it agitates the problem and gets them to move and act, because you're really agitating and kind of throwing salt into the wound and kind of getting them motivated to actually take that action point. At the end of the day, comfort is the enemy to change. And as they're comfort in the current state that they are, they're not going to be taking the desired action that you want them to. By also illustrating that you understand them, you understand the problems that they're experiencing better than they do themselves, then it ultimately qualifies you into that prospect's mind that you are the proven expert and the authority in this space. And a good example of agitating the pain is even the way that I do things at UHM Digital, or if you're looking at a business consultant and you think about really for somebody that's looking to generate leads, what are the pain points that they're experiencing? Generally, that I've found from my research that most businesses are reliant of referrals. They don't really have a proven system for generating leads and then converting those leads into clients. The way that I kind of agitate the pain is, do you wake up in the morning and look at the inbox, maybe one or two unqualified leads that are just prior shopped or really unqualified prospects? Do you worry about where your next clients are going to come from? And are you worried that your business isn't on sound footing and you spend the weekend worrying about work when you can never really switch off and enjoy the fruits of your hard work? What that really allows us to do is, throughout that exercise, it just puts us in the shoes of that prospect. It allows us to say, we understand all the problems and uncertainties that you're going through, and there is a better way to do things. You're going to be agitated in that problem so much, they're obviously expecting a solution to really come off that. You're not just going to be agitating the problems and letting them sit there in their discomfort. They know that one that you've identified them. You're agitating, and then they're also in anticipation for what's next to follow. Step 5, to provide a solution. Now, where around is We've agitated that state. We've clearly demonstrated that, we can understand all the problems, and at this state, they're starving for what the solution is. And just to put a remedy on this wound, we've just thrown salt into. That's when you basically unveil what the solution is. If you're sick and tired of doing all of those things, and then you're really basically going to illustrate how there's a better way and how you can achieve the desired outcome of not having all the uncertainty and all that pain, with positioning your service and the way you sell things to being the solution to what that problem is that you just agitated. The action item for this video is spend the time right now and write 10 to 20 headlines while this is still fresh in your mind. Spend the time, spend 30 to 40 minutes to an hour and really crafting these headlines, and then once you've done that, go ahead and share them in the community. Have people vote on which headline they think it's the most attention grabbing and really addresses what the problem is that the market is having. Go ahead and do that, and I'll see you in the next video.